Hi, this is Joe again with another review. And some time ago, I reviewed in one whole video the Dirty Harry movie series, and I only got like a lousy 5 views on that, if that. So I decided maybe I should do the movies individually, and maybe get some more views and more hits that way. So actually going to start, instead of doing it in order like I've done in my previous, when I did movie series for Star Wars and Star Trek, and I did it in order. Even though, if you look at my video list, it's in the reverse order, but I did it in episode 1 through 6 for Star Wars, and then for Star Trek, I did the same thing. So for Dirty Harry movies, I'm going to do it in the reverse order. So when you look at my video list, it would be in the right order. So I'm going to be doing what is the last Dirty Harry film. And surprisingly, unlike some of the other movie series, like Star Wars, Star Trek, and James Bond, it's like obviously more than 5 films. And there's only 5 Dirty Harry films, surprisingly. One of the 70s, he had about 3 in that. And from 1971, which was the first Dirty Harry film, to the third one, which was the Enforcer. They all were in the 80s. The 70s. And the last 2 films were in the 80s, and they were all spread apart over a couple of years. So we'll be doing what was the last Dirty Harry film, which is the 1988 film, The Deadpool. Starring, of course, Clint Eastwood as Dirty Harry. And of course, this one, unlike the other films, was a little more down and dirty and a little more serious. We go to the film before, which was Sudden Impact, had a little comedic moments in it. This one was like over the top comedic stuff in it, and I'm going to get to it in a minute. Of course, this movie, like I said, The Deadpool, is like more of a murder mystery than the other Dirty Harry films, because that's a straight out action film. It's like you know who the villain is almost from the start, or pretty much from the start, and Dirty Harry's going to chase him down and do his down and dirty vigilante style justice in one of the most liberal, if not the most liberal, city in the United States outside of New York City, and then of course San Francisco, where he's a police inspector. Well, in the Deadpool, it starts off with a music video that was being filmed for a movie, like a music video inside a film, and it was directed by Liam Neeson. It was a very young Liam Neeson before he got bigger and better roles, like in Schindler's List or Star Wars Episode 1 or the Taken films. He plays a music director named Swan. It was his last name, and I think it was like Philip Swan. I think it was his name was, and on a set he's directing a very unknown very unknown Jim Carrey. I mean, this was even before in Living Color. That was like a couple of years before then. So you see a very unknown Jim Carrey. And the credits is billed as James Carrey, not even Jim Carrey, as a strung out, drug addict musician. And he's like all strung out on drugs. And of course, Liam Neeson was giving him shit because he was on drugs. And so he goes to his trailer when they prepare for another take. Jim Carrey's character was, and somebody comes up behind him and kills him. Now, of course, Clint Eastwood, Dirty Harry Callahan, gets assigned to the case and trying to figure out who could have killed him. And of course, he was found out he was killed by drug use, an overdose, which wasn't a shock. I mean, everybody knew the guy was on drugs, but they found out this was like a pure drug, or a drug that he normally didn't take. So they said, "Oh, it was murder." And they found out that there was a list, like a game, and this was before the internet. And there was a game called The Deadpool, and which was created by the guy who was directing the movie, the Liam Neeson character. and it says, you can, how many celebrities can you kill in a week? And he just cross them off the list. And more, if you kill at least 4 celebrities a week, you win the game. For a month or 2 weeks, whatever the time was, a certain amount of celebrities within a week, you win. It was just like a fiction made up thing. And nowadays, something like that would be a game like that would be online, and people could play, or you can play on your smartphones or iPhones or whatever. Today, we all made up, and celebrities were not getting hurt. This thing was like real. I mean, real celebrities, real people were getting killed, and of course, Inspector Callahan is trying to find out the case. And meanwhile, he has a new partner, which is a running gag in the Dirty Harry films, where he has a new partner, and the partners usually get killed or hurt or sent to the hospital. Now, it's no different in this movie because the guy gets injured. He wasn't killed, he got injured. And at the very end of the film, and this is the first time where he's paired up with an Asian or Chinese American partner. And I thought it was pretty good. It's like one of the few partners that Dirty Harry had in all the 5 films, who was maybe a little naive in how Dirty Harry works, but at least he was smart enough to keep up with him, brain-wise. With Dirty Harry, instead of being just a smart-ass, naive partner, who was able to keep up with him a little bit. It was able to work with him a little bit better than some of the other partners in the other films. Now, of course, the Deadpool was, of course, a little more cartoonish, cartoony. Now, that's the stuff that I mentioned already, but there's one infamous sequence where the killer, who, spoiler, guys, if you've not seen the Deadpool, there's a major spoiler here. The killer, or the one who was killing these guys, was a stalker of the movie director, of the Liam Neeson character. Was a stalker, and he was like an assistant on Swan's film, or his various films, and he felt like that, or the killer thought that the director, the Liam Neeson character, was stealing this guy's ideas, and he was killing all the people involved in his movies, and of course, since the director, the Liam Neeson character, came up with the Deadpool, this guy decides to steal his idea for the Deadpool, but he took it one step further and killing all the people who was on the list. Unlike what Liam Neeson was doing, because he wasn't killing anybody, he just made up the list, just for quote unquote fun. But this guy, or Liam Neeson's stalker, took the list and found out who was on his list, including Dirty Harry himself, and started killing the people who were on the list, including, of course, Dirty Harry himself. And this is where the most infamous sequence in any of the Dirty Harry movies comes in. There's a still sequence where the killer is using like a remote control car with a bomb on it, or the bomb in it, and he does use a remote control car to put the car or the bomb underneath somebody's car, and then with the person in it, and blows it up. And that's how Dirty Harry's partner gets injured, because he got injured from the bomb attack. And it's funny that he's being chased. They're being chased throughout the streets of San Francisco with this little remote control car. And I remember I actually went to see this movie in 1988, and it was the funniest. They got the most laughs out of that one scene than any other scene in the movie. Well, of course, at the end of the film, of course, the killer gets caught, and of course, Dirty Harry kills the villain at the end of the movie. But as the film itself, of course, it's one of the like I said as well. I didn't think it was a bad film because it kept guessing who the killer was. Everybody thought it was a director. The Liam Neeson character was doing it because the list was his idea, and people on his list and Deadpool were being killed, and people thought that he was doing it. And he actually did get arrested at one point in the film because, like I said, people thought it was his idea. But we all know, of course, obviously, it was too obvious that the director was the one doing it. Because it was like way too obvious that was him. That was a frame-up job, and of course it was a frame-up job, and he, of course, like I said, the real guy got caught and was killed. Of course, every Dirty Harry movie you gotta have a token line. Like in the original film, you had "Do You Feel Lucky?" In Sudden Impact, of course, he had his most famous line, which was, "Go ahead, make my day," which is quotable line that everybody could quote him. But for the Deadpool, he says, "Your shit's out of luck." Like, out of shit, he actually had to use a curse word in that quotable line, and he shoots. And Clint Eastwood, like I said, he kills the guy with his 44 Magnum, and of course that's how just about every one of his movies ends when he kills the villain at the end of the film, and he just walks away, and that's how the movie ends. All 5 movies ended almost exactly the same way when Clint Eastwood kills the villain and just walks away, and they have this big white shot, and it kind of became a trademark of the 5 films. Fortunately, like I said, there were only 5 films in the series. I guess maybe because Clint Eastwood got tired of doing it, he was getting older, and you could tell, you could tell by the Deadpool that Clint Eastwood was getting tired of playing Dirty Harry, even though it was 5 years in between Sudden Impact and because Sudden Impact came out in 1983, and the Deadpool came out 5 years later in 1988. So it was a big gap because Clint Eastwood was doing other films. They did like the movie Fire. I think he did like Firefox and Heartbreak Ridge. So he was doing other films, and because he didn't have the time to go back and keep revisiting this character, he wanted to move on. I guess he wanted to move on from the character, like all actors do, who gets tired of constantly playing the same part. And like I said, the Dirty Harry films was like bigger in the 70s than the 80s, until of course the 4th film, which hopefully I will review maybe sometime next week. Which was Sudden Impact, where he has that line, "Go ahead, make my day," and everybody throughout the whole decade of the 80s quoted that line, from politicians to celebrities on down. And of course, that's what people like to quote line, the one token line from the Clint Eastwood movies. And of course, you said in Deadpool, you had that one line, and they had the curse one, your shit's out of luck, or your shit out your luck. Or something like that. I mean, just saw the movie last night, so it's not so much of a stretch for me. So let me review of the movie, The Deadpool. Please click on the video, please rate it. Feel free to comment on it. Please subscribe to my channel, and please forward this video onto your Facebook pages. You can check out all my videos now on my YouTube channel at rowdyc.com. That's OWDY, and that's C.com. That's the homepage of the reviewer. Chris Lee Moore, and please check out all of his videos on his website. Thanks for watching, and catch you next time.